All right. Today we're going to talk about the CEC strategy and how it can help you to write well-developed paragraphs. Remember that CEC is a strategy for writing single paragraphs, but it can also be used for writing a longer essay response as well, where each individual paragraph will have its own CEC. So let's talk about exactly what that means. Always remember CEC stands for claim, evidence, and commentary. Your claim is the main idea of your paragraph. It's what you're trying to get across to your reader. Try to avoid writing a paragraph that only has summary in it. Start with a claim and you should be in pretty strong shape. Second, you need your evidence. Your evidence is the proof that supports your point. This can come from a novel, it can come from the short response. In some cases, you'll be asked to gather your own evidence. In other cases, it'll be provided to you, as in with a test. Finally, we have our commentary, and the commentary is very important because what it does is it helps to make the connection for your reader between the evidence and the claim, the main idea you were trying to make. Let's take a look at how this works out in an essay or in a short paragraph. As you read through the opening here, what you'll see is the writer is introducing the two stories they'll be working with and developing their claim as the very first sentence. And the main idea they're trying to get across is this idea that in both stories, someone's trying to restrict and limit human potential. After that, they begin focusing on one story at a time. And in this case, our writer first started with Vonnegut's Harrison Bergeron. They use a direct quote from the story, and that becomes their evidence. And notice how they do use the quotation marks to designate that it is a direct quote. And then they move into their commentary. While they weren't dangerous, George's thoughts were constantly interrupted because the government feared what people like George might achieve. This shows how our quote proves the main idea that someone is trying to restrict human potential in the story Harrison Bergeron. Now our writer is going to transition into their second story, Fahrenheit 451. And notice how here they don't use direct quotes, but they use strong paraphrase that references specific scenes from the story. When possible, use direct quotes, but when you can't, a strong paraphrase could be just as good. So here our writer has decided to describe how the televisions in the story represent brainwashing and how that restricts human potential, but again, we need our commentary to prove the point. And that comes across right here. She is so focused on memorizing her lines for the family that she has lost her will to talk to her real husband. That shows how her potential and her life quality has been limited. The last thing that the writer has to do is make a closing commentary. It's very strong to remind your reader of how each story proves your point through this closing commentary. This is the CEC strategy. Again, remember to use it in any paragraph you write, whether it's a short response paragraph or an essay, and you should be in pretty good shape.